All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the return of the Palindrome. Now, this was a beloved hand cannon from Destiny 1. If you remember, you would actually go to the vendor, and he would have different rolls every week, and so you would, go to him and see if you could get a better roll than the last week. And there's sometimes really good rolls, sometimes really bad rolls, and it was a really fun time in the world of Destiny 1, going and seeing what the vendor refresh was for the old Palindrome. But this has returned now to Destiny 2, and you need to do the Nightfall in order to get to drop this week. And the harder the difficulty Nightfall you do, the higher the drop chance is for this weapon. And this weapon is dropping out there. A bunch of people have confirmed for me that's dropping out there. I did a bunch of Nightfalls, and I couldn't get one to drop, but a bunch of people that were very trustworthy said that they got one. So I'm assuming that they're not lying to me, but if they are, oh man, I just got debated hard. But it seems like this is dropping this week. So get to farming. It's Sepix. So, you're used to the strike if you did D1, and even if you're not, it's not that tough of a strike. You'll get through it. So, if you are trying to get the God Roll, though, this is the video right here, the God Roll Guide. For PvP purposes, this weapon is actually really nasty, even though it's a 140, and the meta right now is the 120s. What you're going to want to do if you're going to get a 140 is you're going to want to create an archetype and a perk pool combination that's going to help you compete against those 120s, and so you're definitely going to want Rangefinder. It's just plain and simple. 120s have a lot more range than 140s. If you're going to try and compete against the 120s, you're going to want Rangefinder. Obviously, you have to go for 3 headshots when using this. You can have other perks, like maybe High Impact Reserves could be nice. Maybe this will be a little more forgiving. You might be able to do 2 to the head, 1 to the body. I don't know. I have to test this out. Rampage obviously can do a similar thing. 1 for All is not going to work really well in PvP. It is a great perk for PvE, though, so that might work for you if you're trying to use this in PvE. Although I will say I don't think this is the ideal weapon to use in PvE right now. Iklos SMG is just too strong for ad clear, so I wouldn't really be using this too much. But for PvP, this thing is nasty, and I would go with Rangefinder 100% if I could get a roll. And when I get a roll, hopefully it has Rangefinder, and the other perk will hopefully be Quick Draw. That would be awesome to have Quick Draw on this bad boy. Ooh, be nice. Quick Draw both helps you draw the weapon faster and aim down sights as well, so it works as snapshot. Quick Draw and Rangefinder combination is super nasty for a hand cannon, especially for 140. You couldn't ask for any better perk pool than that. Overflow can be nice too, to have a nice big magazine. Killing Wind can be cool too. This new perk here is called Bottomless Grief. When you're the last living member fire team, each takedown refills your magazine. Obviously, that's not really what you want. This seems a lot like the Trials perk, where you're like the last living member and you get a perk, but it's also important to note that that's very, very rare that happens. But there could be some scenarios where this might be good, I suppose, but overall, you're not going to want this. You're going to want a PvP role, which is going to be Quick Draw Rangefinder. And on top of that, we're going to want to add as much range as you can. There's a variety of different magazines that add range, so pick one. And obviously, when it comes to barrels, Hammer Forged is really good. You can get other ones as well that decrease stability, I believe. And like this one right here will give you -10 stability, -5 to handling, full bore, but it gives you +15 range. And one other thing to note is that they just did across the board for mouse and keyboard. They nerfed the stability, and it doesn't really seem to change things much. So honestly, I think that stability is a stat that really doesn't matter that much. So even though they have changed things, it doesn't seem to be that big a deal. Obviously, if you're on controller, it's a little bit different story. You might not want to have the craziest recoil ever, but that's the way it is for now. So there it is. That's a God Rolled Palindrome guide. Get to grinding for it. See if you can compete against the 120 meta with this. I definitely think that this is a viable option, especially with these perks here. But again, the 120s are going to be the kings for a while, and they're going to rule with an iron fist because those 120s are nasty. Such great ease of use with 1 to the head, 2 to the body for the 120s, and such crazy range. It's hard to see 140s taking over, but if there was a 140 to take over from this season, it would be the Palindrome so far. This thing is actually beast. And with some of these perks here, Rangefinder or High Impact Reserves, might be able to see some viability with this. So let me know what you think, and let me know if you get a Palindrome to drop for you inside the Nightfall. If you do, tag me on Twitter with the roll of your Palindrome, and I will like those posts. So if you want to see other people's rolls with Palindrome, if you're having bad luck getting it, go to my Twitter, follow me on Twitter, and hopefully we can celebrate those that actually have good RNG, because I have terrible RNG. I went and farmed the Nightfall. I did like 5 or 6 Nightfalls, and I couldn't get one to drop. Unfortunate. Maybe tomorrow I'll get it to drop for me, though. But that's a wrap for this video. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on, and best of luck to you in your efforts to get a God Roll Palindrome. Later.